Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Rizzo Rink for the first time in a couple weeks with live commentary. I'm Cade Stewart, your voice for the evening, where our first game tonight takes place between the Beer Wolves and the Black Storm. And storyline for today's game, the heavily short-handed Black Storm, coming in with just 6 total players on the floor right now and playing close defensive coverage is the typical goaltender Andrew Sloan. He's in that far circle to the right side. The Beer Wolves start off on offense, looking to challenge Sloan early. It's Mac Ensley going across to Santo Domingo. Santo is entering feet in the middle. Mackey behind the back look gets turned away. And a good defensive stand by the short-handed Storm early on. Moving it down the floor is Nick Fox. Takes a shot. He scores. Nick Fox hits the early goal just 40 seconds into regulation, and it's 1-0 Black Storm. Second face-off of the game, this time won by the Storm. Both sides even up at 1 apiece in the opening minute of play. Moving it down the floor is Matthew Reuter. And a quick shot came from the pass by Reuter, which was turned away easily by the starting goaltender Toby Fedor of the Beer Wolves. Fedor and Thomas Kelly will start in net for the Storm. Again, the typical goaltender Andrew Sloan is out on defense at the moment. Now Sloan among the pairs sub off. He's taking a quick shot there, but having it turned away was Ryan Rafferty. Rafferty's rebound goes into the corner. Nick Fox tracks it down in space, and here it comes across the blue line. Fox down the floor. He moves it up to James Lindsay. Lindsay shot goes wide. Rebound off glass in front of the Beer Wolf bench, and scooped up in the middle by Rafferty. Rafferty looks to Ensley, who takes a shot, saved Kelly. And now Kelly again slams the door in the near corner. 2 quick saves to the Storm goaltender to keep the game scoreless. At least in terms of the defense, where the Storm goes. 1-0 Storm offense leads. Here's Nick Fox all the way down the other way. He is the 1-goal scorer tonight. Fox to Lindsay. Between the circles, Lindsay a shot. And that one caught in the pads of Fedor, who makes the second save. 12.5 to go in the first. Here come the Beer Wolves further down the floor. A quick shot on goal is again scooped up and sent away. And Nolan Fox takes it back the other way for the Storm offense. Over by the June sign. Storm with some fresher pairs of legs on the bench as they get a few extra sets. George Rusnak gets pass deflected. They'll recover the loose change just beyond the blue line. Into the circle, Rusnak a shot, save Fedor. It's loose in the crease. Maybe more in the pad of Fedor. No challenge there as Fedor scoops it up. And sends it back the other way with Mackey, who places it off his shoulder. Mackey around the outskirts of the far circle to Ensley in the middle, and Ensley scores. Through the legs of Kelly, and Mac Ensley evens up the game. And with 11:38 to go in the first, it's 1-1. Face off again, won by the Storm. Lindsay will exchange looks with Matthew Reuter, but Reuter's latest pass will sail wide, and forced to track it down in the corner is Sloan. They'll sub off behind the play. Sloan goes to Fox. Fox out to Lindsay around the Roman Catholic sign. Lindsay takes a stick check up against the glass. The ball wafted in the air, and it's Beer Wolves' balls. A whistle sounds going against the Storm. Ensley and Winters go back and forth. Subbing back on is Mackey, who takes the pass. Mackey behind the back, look goes wide. Rebound attempt also wide, as that shot was taken by Philip Goldfarb. Goldfarb around the outskirts of the net. Ensley a shot, and Ensley scores. 2 in the 5-hole in the first period for Ensley. And the first 5 minutes, he's given the Beer Wolves a 1-goal lead over the Storm. 5 minutes have elapsed in the first period. 2-1 the Beer Wolves lead. Back-to-back goals, serving as an answer to the Nick Fox starter early on. Tripped up behind the play and being sent into the glass is Winters. And we'll have whistle sound. The ball is turned over by the Beer Wolves. It goes with the Storm now off the whistle. Andrew Sloan brings it up across mid-rink. Nolan Fox pleading his team's case, hoping for a penalty. Rusnak around the blue line. Nolan Fox still trying to plead his case. Lindsay around the blue cross sign. Lindsay, a centering feed to the middle, has that one turned away. Nick Fox sent into the boards on the near side. Ball pops out of Fox's stick into the hands of Reuter. Reuter gets a quick one on goal, but turned away by Fedor. Fedor with 4 good saves. Only mistake early on has been the Nick Fox goal. Under 9 to go. Winters a one bouncer scooped up by Kelly. Kelly's pass down the other way over the head of his intended target in Lindsay. And the Beer Wolves will quickly reset on offense. Back up the other way is Rafferty through the blue line. Rafferty to Winters, and again it's scooped up. As Kelly, who's allowed 2 goals in the 5-hole, has now closed that door and has made back-to-back saves. Reuter between the blue line and mid-rink. Reuter to Rusnak, he brings in a little bit high pass. Rusnak by the scorer's box, that one knocked out of his stick. Clean stick check there as Rusnak gets around the defense. Centering pass in the middle for Reuter is turned away. Here come the Beer Wolves the other way, looking to extend the lead. Ensley has 2 already. He spins into open space. Ensley once a third is turned away. Shoulder save made by Kelly to keep the game at a 1-goal deficit. Nick Fox brings in the rebound for the Storm. Here he goes off running. Fox into open space. Through the middle. Takes a shot again. Saved by Fedor. Hits loose out in front as Andrew Sloan plays some physical offense there. But just outmanned, and the Beer Wolves go down the other way. The hand goes up, and there may be a delayed call here against the Beer Wolves. And it will appear to be a penalty against the Beer Wolves. And it'll be for too many men as the infraction. 5-on-4 advantage for the Storm. Their 5 reps include their lone goal scorer, Nick Fox, tonight. Fox takes the return feed halfway through this first period. Fox and Reuter back and forth. Here's a shot on goal, that one wide. Rusnak and Reuter exchange looks there as Reuter's shot again. Saved by Fedor. Up the other way are the Beer Wolves off that save. Wayward pass by Mackey went up in the stick of Kelly, and Kelly will send it up with Fox. Fox moving it up the floor. He's got Sean Quinn back to Fox around the top of the circle. Tried to go right back, but it tipped away. And back to Fox. That was Reuter, pardon me. Fox and Reuter back and forth. Reuter to Rusnak. Fox behind the back look into the corner with Lindsay. Lindsay a shot on goal. Saved by Fedor initially. Between the legs it was loose, but it stayed out. And the whistle sounds to send the Beer Wolves on offense. 1:10 has elapsed in the penalty. 6:08 to go in the first, with 48 seconds of that being a man down for the Beer Wolves, who currently are on offense with Mac Ensley. Ensley to Mackey, and that one just a bit up high. Mackey tried to go low with it and almost had a mirror reflection of it around the ceiling. 30 seconds to go. 5-second difference between penalty clock and shot clock as the shot's taken, saved by Fedor. Lindsay tried to get the rebound, but pounced on again by the Beer Wolf goaltender. 1 and done go the Storm, and what could be their last opportunity on the man up. Rafferty back the other way for the Beer Wolves. He sends Santo Domingo towards the net. The look for a pass goes unanswered. Ensley in the main circle. Ensley towards Santo. Takes a shot on goal. Saved by Kelly off the leg pad. Penalty is up. Both teams back to full strength. The Storm trying to be just as aggressive, and it is Philip Lindsay who puts that one home. I know I have that name wrong because Philip Lindsay's in the NFL. It's James Lindsay. Gets his first goal of the game. 2-2 your score as Lindsay evens it up with under 5 to go in the first. Two-year score, 4.5 to go in the opening frame. Face-off battle still going on in the far corner as swatting at it is Rusnak. Neither side can seem to pick it up. It's made its way around, all the way around the circle as the Storm finally pull away with it. Nolan Fox goes to Rusnak. Rusnak to Nick Fox. That shot took a massive deflection off the pad of Fedor and played off the far glass again by the shooter Fox. Fox to the middle. Brother-to-brother pass as it winds up in the stick of Matthew Reuter. And Reuter tried to go out across. It'll sail wide as Matthew and Phil Reuter not on the same page there. 3:40 to go in the first. Nick Fox out in front. Rusnak is turned away by Fedor. Another great save along that baseline. Here's another shot again deflected wide by Fedor. And the rebound in and out of the stick of Reuter sails off the glass as the beer rolls back the other way with it. Rafferty up past the Thomas Taylor sign. Out to Mackey in the middle. Mackey a one bouncer. He scores! Ryan Mackey, the first Beer Wolf not named Mac Ensley, to score a goal tonight. And he puts the Beer Wolves back up by 1. It's 3-2 with 3 to go in the first. .228 and ticking to go in the opening period. 3-2 lead for the Blue Wolves as Mackey has put them back up in front by 1. Ensley is sent into the corner. He has 2 goals in the opening frame. Ensley to Rafferty. Rafferty spins in open space, but again gets the lane blocked. One bouncer by Winters is turned away off the arm of Kelly. Getting tripped up behind the play is Reuter, who pries his way out of it and finds Rusnak in transition. Rusnak a shot saved, and a great save it was by Fedor to keep the game at a 1-goal deficit. There's Rusnak again. Nick Fox fired wide off glass. Rebound comes out, and it's sent way out of here. A one bouncer over the scorer's table. That one taken by Tyler McCarr. And the Beer Wolves look to answer on the good defensive stance. 90 seconds to go in the first period. Rafferty back and forth. Try to go to Mackey, but it was blocked down and intercepted by Nick Fox. Fox takes off, down the other way. Nick Fox in on goal, he scores. Fox goes just below the crossbar, and he ties the game up at 3. It's his second goal of the opening frame, and with 1:10 to go in the first, it's even the game. Under a minute now to play in the first period. We wait for the face-off. Winter subs on behind the play. 3-3 your score through about 14 minutes and 20 seconds or so. Nolan Fox wins the draw. Fox to Rusnak through the circle. Rusnak around the face-off, or around the crease, pardon me. He dives and he scores. Good goal for Rusnak, who's able to keep his feet out of the paint. And the Storm had their second lead of the opening period and their first one since 2 minutes in. It's 4-3 in the dying seconds. .11 seconds in ticking. Face-off was won initially by the Storm, some pushing and shoving behind the play, and that will be it for the first period. So 4-3 your score through the first 15 minutes of play, a little bit of tussling behind the play. We'll bring about a conversation with the Black Storm representative, Nick Fox. But back in 90 seconds for the start of the second period, it's a 4-3 Storm advantage on the night where they come in shorthanded. "4-3 Black Storm in front through 15 minutes of play. 30 more to come from Rizzo Rink on this early game on Monday night. One of 4 games to be broadcast this week, 2 tonight. As that game will get underway at about 7:50 p.m., hopefully on time. Face-off is won by the Beer Wolves after some commotion on the previous face-off to end the first period. Whistle will go against the Beer Wolves here as Nick Fox was sent into the boards a little bit late. That pass a little bit high as Nick tried to go to Nolan Fox. Storm can't seem to bring it in with possession in the corner. Now they pull away with it. Into open spaces, Nick Fox, who takes the pass from his brother Nolan. Nick into the circle. One bouncer goes wide. Rebound comes out to Ensley through the circle. Ensley all the way down. Picked up with one hand by Rafferty. Behind the back look and just a slight bit off as Tommy Mikulski had a lane to the net. Mikulski tracks down the missed pass. He goes to Winters. Under 14 to go. Winters to Ensley. Ensley out across to Steele. Steele dives into the net, and save is made by Kelly as Steele was able to stay out of the crease. Here's Nolan Fox. Fox over the head of Rusnak. Into the stick of Nick Fox. Rusnak behind the back look. It goes right back to Nolan, but no shot as the lane was closed by Rafferty. Here's Nick Fox, a one bouncer, saved by Fedor. And Ensley back up the other way is sent back between the near circles. The brief momentum runs halted by Ensley, but he will restart and send it back the other way. Slight bobble there by Steele. Steele around the blue line. He goes back and forth to Ensley. Ensley tried to go to Rafferty by the Beer Wolf bench, but only now is able to bring it in. Shot clock down to 4. That one whistles wide of Kelly. Rebound by Ensley is on goal. It's eaten up in the crease. And 2 shots will be all she wrote as the Black Storm are back up on offense. Here's Lindsay around the top of the circle. Lindsay to the middle, behind the back look. It's Matthew Reuter taking the shot, but Fedor making a save. And the Beer Wolves will restart the possession. David Frigeri through the middle. And Frigeri out to Ensley around the far corner of the blue line. Ensley directing traffic. He sends Mackey further in. Here's Rafferty on the one bounce pass. Goes back to Mackey on the outskirts of the circle. Mackey checks Lindsay into the boards. Lindsay goes down. A little bit of a tie up there as a ball underneath the body of Lindsay. Here's Mackey by the Mark Skrillo sign. Mackey to Rafferty. A one-time returned away by Kelly. It's loose in front of the crease, and here come the Storm once again with the redemption push. Reuter on goal, but wide. And Santo Domingo brings in the loose change for the Beer Wolves. And they go back up on the attack. The two-time goal scorer tonight in Mac Ensley, who has it, one of two multi-goal scorers. Nick Fox for the Storm has two for himself. Behind the back look was turned away, and foot save made by Kelly. Ryan Mackey behind the net tried to filter in a feed, but it's wide. The ball will stay in play. It was lofted in the air, but did not quite make contact with I-95 above us. And Nolan Fox back the other way for the Storm. Looks to get them some momentum. Fox to the circle. Fox to the top. Nolan to Nick to Reuter, and it's turned away. And pardon me, that was George Rusnak that took the shot. Now it's Phil Reuter who has it. Back to Rusnak. Rusnak between the circles. That shot saved by Fedor. Second effort is also turned away. And Fedor's pass forward to Ensley's intercepted. Here's Nick Fox. Fox to Nolan. Nolan pump fake toward the circle. A one bouncer again, saved by Fedor. And both goaltenders having very solid nights early on. Just a 4-3 game through about 20 minutes. Ensley behind that back look, tried to force the issue, but it just goes wide of Steele. And timeout is called by the Beer Wolves. 10:25 is where the clock will stop in the second period. It's the first time out of the game for either side, and it comes with the Black Storm leading by 1, 4-3. Yep. .10:20 is where time will resume in the second period. 4-3 lead for the Black Storm over the Beer Wolves. The Storm have scored the last two in the game, but both sides still scoreless in the second frame. Quick shot on goal by Rusnak is turned away by Fedor. Both sides even strength to begin this restarted second period. 10 minutes to go in the new frame. Multiple checks into the boards there against the Beer Wolves, who go unanswered as Stranix is able to pull away. He moves it up to Mikulski. Mikulski around the blue line, out across to Winters. Winters around the crease, didn't take the shot. Winters now pulls it back, fired one. It goes off the post behind Kelly. Maybe caught a pad at the Storm goaltender as well. Shot clock resets on the save. Here's Rafferty to Mikulski, a one bouncer, and that one died out too fast. Rebound played easily off the glass by Rusnak, sent the other way. Fedor made an attempt at it, but couldn't just couldn't snag it. Phil Reuter in front, and Reuter slams it home. One on, none disadvantage out in front, and Phil Reuter gives the Black Storm the first multi-goal lead of the day for either side. It's 5-3 with over 9 to go in the second. 6:45 to go. 5-3 lead for the Storm. Matthew Luter moves it down the rink. He goes to Rusnak, who goes over the top. I have no idea where the ball ended up, and it winds up in the stick of a Beer World defender, who then fires it all the way back down to the scorer's box. Tracking it down behind the play is Winters. It winds up in the stick of the Storm goaltender, though, in Kelly. And now we'll have a full reset. Substitution for either side. Jason Jones subs on for the Beer Wolves. He's on the floor for the first time tonight. Lindsay and Rusnak exchange passes. Now it's Nick Fox with a shot on goal. It's eaten up by Fedor. Phil Reuter's goal a minute ago is the first one in the frame. Only the one goal in the last 7.5 minutes overall. And 3 in a row scored by the Storm, put them up by 2. Winters chases down that wayward pass from Rafferty, but he lost it himself, and so it's Matthew Reuter with a steal for the Storm. And in transition, it's Nolan Fox through mid-rink. Nolan over the head of Rusnak, who had a good look in front. Rafferty picks it up in the near circle, and the Beer Wolves send it back the other way themselves. Here is Rafferty. Out to Ensley. Ensley tried to feed Rafferty once again, but was eaten up out in front. A quick shot, and what a goal! The pass was brought back in. Waiting to see who will get credit for it, and it's Tommy Mikulski out in front who brought in the wayward pass that was intended for Rafferty and slammed it home past Kelly. It's a 5-4 Storm lead as it's cut back down to 1. Both sides now with 1 goal in the period to make the game a 1-goal deficit for the Beer Wolves. Matthew Reuter through the blue line, and timeout called by the Storm. Each team has called 1 timeout in the game, and they've each come in the last 4 minutes of the second period. It's a 5-4 lead for the Storm with 6:44 to go in the second frame. So an interesting turn of events here. A timeout was called by the Black Storm when they did not have 1 remaining in the second period. Apparently the first one was called by the Storm and not the Beer Wolves. So as the Beer Wolves with 1 remaining, they take a quick shot during it. Off the back netting. So it'll be a 5-4 game, and now man-up opportunity for the Beer Wolves. As again, a bench minor called on the Black Storm for calling an illegal timeout. 5-4 lead. Ryan Mackey gets a pass. Mackey tried to go right to Rafferty. Rafferty sends Nick Fox into the boards. Now he's forced to pull back into open space. Rafferty to Ensley. Ensley down the floor for Mackey, who takes the off-angle 1-bounce shot, which is wide. Shot clock violation called on the Beer Wolves, being taken down as Nick Fox. Fox with some words behind the play. And a hand goes up. This could be 5-on-3. And some more talking behind the play. 5:40 and ticking to go in the second. And it appears there will be a call against Nick Fox. Time still ticking on the first penalty. The officials will have a talk about it. The Wolves obviously pleading their case. Still a 1-goal lead. 5:10 and ticking to go in regulation. The time finally stops with 4:50 to go in the second. 6 seconds to go on the man up for the Beer Wolves. It appears a 2-minute penalty will be issued against 53 of the Beer Wolves, and a 5-minute will go against Rafferty. So it's Ensley getting a 2-minute minor and a 5-minute major being issued against Rafferty. We'll see if that's all. There's a flurry of interaction on the play. As being taken down was Nick Fox, who obviously was not very happy about that, rightfully so. Murdoch now pleading his team's case. And now a number next to Rafferty says 7, so an additional 2-minute minor added on to Rafferty's total. .435 to go in the second. The Storm will send passes around. It's James Lindsay watching that one go over his head. It went off the back netting, but a dead ball was not called. It was behind the back of both officials. And Mackey tried to go the other way, and now we'll have a timeout. Stoppage with 4:17 to go in the second. We'll have a captain's conference in front of the Beer Wolf bench. So we'll use this stoppage to go over some fun facts about the shorthanded Black Storm tonight. Andrew Sloan, the usual goaltender, came into the game and starting as a defenseman. He played 4 seasons in the early 2000s before joining in the military league, where he never played a day as a goalie and was a defenseman. He led the Vipers as a defenseman in goals and points in 2002 in the PBLA. Back in the live action, so we'll go over the rest of Andrew Sloan fun facts around the next stoppage. But there is a lot of interesting things here, so make sure to stay tuned as the Beer Wolves, 2 men down, probably 1 man down, will shuffle the passes around. It goes to Nate Winters back around the shot clock. Winters sent into the corner, just below the face-off circle. Winters underneath, scooped up by Kelly. Again, man up for the Black Storm. It's Rusnak going down the other way. Rusnak through the circle, a shot. It goes off the foot of Fedor and sails up the back netting. Off the back into play by a generous fan. Not trying to take a souvenir. We don't have many of them left to give out. Here's Lindsay. Lindsay to Phil Reuter. To Nick Fox, to Matthew Reuter. Back to Nick Fox and back to Phil Reuter. It's the same 3 people every time. Rusnak had the pass go over his head. Now Lindsay getting involved. Now everyone's hustled the ball in the last 10 seconds, and Nick Fox finishes it. Nick Fox out in front. He beats the diving Fedor. He has a hat trick now on the night, and it's a 2-goal lead for the Storm. Fox had 2 in the first period. He gets his first in the second, and it's a 6-4 lead with 2:40 to go in the second period. 15 more to come in the third. But only a little bit left in this frame. 4:40 still remains on the 7-minute total penalty against Rafferty. So the Storm will have a lot more opportunities here on the man up as Nick Fox will direct traffic around the blue line. Fox, Reuter, and Lindsay go through and through. Lindsay to Rusnak, back up to Fox. That one deflected wide and off the scorer's table by me. I flinched hard. That was not, hopefully nobody saw that, but I just had a feeling someone did. Rusnak takes the off-angle shot. It goes wide. I'm honestly embarrassed I flinched that hard. My God, that wasn't even close to me. That is not a good look for me. Steele will start it up with it for the Beer Wolves. Steele around the June sign. Winters out in front. Steele plays it off the blue line. Steele goes to Ensley. Ensley had that one knocked out of the back of his stick. Phil Reuter down the other way with Nick Fox. Fox to the circles. Fox on goal. It's fired wide at the door. Played off the boards by Nolan Fox, and the Storm will restart the offensive attack. 3-on-3 in the zone. Nolan Fox to Reuter. Up to the top. Reuter to Reuter. Phil Reuter in front. Fires one on goal. Saved by Fedora. Steele picks it up, and there was a whistle behind the play. Never mind. We'll restart with Ensley for the Beer Wolves. Ensley between the circles, under a minute to go in the second period. 6-4 lead for the Storm. Ensley to Winters, and Winters rattled off the post. It's all Kelly gave him. And the rebound off the post is sent all the way back down to Fedor. Close coverage by the Black Storm. They force a wayward pass, but it's eventually brought in by Robert Lohman, wearing number 40 tonight, rather than his typical 33. Bowman shot wide. Nick Fox wants a fourth. It's wide. His brother Nolan also wants his first of the day, but he won't take the shot. It goes around behind the net. Nick Fox toward the middle. Matthew Reuter had it in his stick. Now it goes under the hands of Reuter. Did it trickle in? And it did. I have no idea who touched it last, but it's goal number 7 of the day for the Black Storm. That will kill the remainder of the Rafferty penalty and the second period, as it might be James Lindsay getting his second of the day. So it's a 7-4 lead for the Storm to the first 30 minutes of play. 15 more will start the third period in about 90 seconds. Before that, we'll finish up the promised Andrew Sloan stat line from the early 2000s. He scored 5 goals in the game once during that record-setting 2002 season as a defenseman with the Vipers. Just to restart the list of fun facts we've had, he did play 4 seasons in the 2000s in the military league, or before joining the military, and before joining the PBLA as a goaltender. He did not play as a goalie at all during his first 4 seasons, compared to his typical goaltender status this year, but a defenseman tonight for the shorthanded Storm. Getting back to it, he did have a 5-goal game in 2001 and playing for the Vipers. He also played for the Reapers and the Edge after the Vipers. A graduate of local high school Father Judge, and he led the Edge in scoring in 2001. So Andrew Sloan hasn't put one in the back of the net for a little while. I've mostly seen him gone by, so hopefully some redemption tonight for Andrew Sloan. He's back on the floor to start the third period. A few more seconds to go before the whistle sounds to begin the frame. It's a 7-4 Storm lead. And Andrew Sloan will have one more period to try to make his dreams come true, getting another one behind the net. .45 and ticking to go in the third. It gets off to an early start with the game clock. 1:50 to go on the now killed Rafferty penalty, so that penalty no longer on the, at least on the floor. 5-on-5 full strength. Under 14.5 now to go in the third. It's a 3-goal lead for the Storm, the largest of the day for either side. It beats the Storm's previous record of 2 as they scored back-to-back. Here's Rusnak around the near circle. Rusnak tried to fire it right back, but it was intercepted by Tyler McCarr. And here come the Storm, the Beer Wolves the other way. It's Tommy Mikulski. By an off-angle bad pass, but it's picked up by Winters. Winters is double-teamed, plays it off the boards, and it's able to Unfortunately, able to forfeit possession there for the Beer Wolves. Here's Ensley and Mackey. Mackey tried to go right back to Winters. Now that one wide. The Storm tried to clear it away. Now it's Ensley with the interception and a shot. It goes wide of Kelly. Swatted back in near the offensive zone by a Beer Wolf, that being Frigeri. But instead it's Lindsay and Nick Fox the other way. Nick Fox from James Lindsay for the 4th time tonight, and Fox has doubled the score of the Beer Wolves. It's 8-4 overall with 13:20 to go in the third. And contrary to the previous period where it took 6.5 minutes to get our first one behind the net, it only takes about 1:45 for Nick Fox to score his 4th of the day in this third. A lot of work to do for the Beer Wolves with plenty of time to make up some ground. Nick Fox between the blue line and mid-rink will have it for the Black Storm on the new possession. He goes to the most recent assister in James Lindsay. Lindsay behind the crease is ushered away. Shot clock below 10 now as Lindsay tried to go back to Nick Fox. Instead, he scores from the far circle. James Lindsay, a one-timer, untouched to the left side of Fedor, and it's now 9 for Storm. I think Lindsay said something along the lines of bang, bang, Shirley. So, yeah. 9-4 lead for Lindsay and the Storm, as he scores what appears to be his 3rd goal of the day, joining Nick Fox top of the scorers charts for tonight, both with hat tricks. Fox trying to pull away a little bit more, though. He took a shot on goal with a foot save by Fedor. Rafferty, a vicious stick check on Nolan Fox, but nothing comes of it. At least not yet. Some more words behind the play. Rusnak to the bottom of the circle. That pass trickle wide of Fedor and gets sent over near the scorer's box. Nick Fox tracks it down between the circles. He tries to force the issue to Rusnak, has that one turned away by Fedor. The net rattles behind him, but nothing goes into it. Taking a high check into the boards there is Winters. He's able to pull away. Winters, that one knocked in and out of his stick. He pushes down Nolan Fox, and that's going to be a whistle. No major call coming from it, but it will be a forfeit of possession for the Beer Wolves. Now a stumble here as the Black Storm will... Oh, here we go. Now some pushing behind the play. A punch thrown. And that's a first for the night after a lot of talking in the game, as a right hook was thrown by Mikulski. It was on target. A decently thrown punch, but that could be the end of Mikulski's night. 10.5 and ticking to go in the third. It's now a comfortable 9-4 lead for the Storm. And we'll see how severe of a reprimand Mikulski gets. Well said by the officials here. Both benches stop acting like idiots. That's all right. That about sums it up. So 5-minute major we issued to Tommy Mikulski of the Beer Wolves. We'll have 4 minutes we issued to Nick Fox of the Storm. And we'll see if Mikulski's night is done down by 5. It'll be 4-on-4 for the next 3.5 minutes, then 5-on-4 in favor of the Storm for one more after that. There's Andrew Sloan, tried to go to Nolan Fox. It's a one bouncer into the stick of Nolan. Behind the back look goes to Sloan. Sloan had that one go off the top of his stick, but brings it back in. Used to playing with a much larger one, so I'll give him credit there. Benefit of the doubt. Shot goes wide. It's off the pads of the door. Rebound back out to Nolan Fox. Fox trying to find open space. Andrew Sloan is off behind the play. Mackey up against the scorer's box. Mackey up the floor to Steele. Steele through the blue line and mid-rink. Drifting by the boards, his intended target in Winters. He goes over his head, though. It's caught by Rafferty. Rafferty tried to go right back to Ensley, but it's wide. Tracking it down off glass is Nolan Fox. Fox goes to Rusnak with 2.5 to go on the 4-on-4. Rusnak between the circles, a diving legs pad save made by Fedor. They bounce off the wall, it stays in play, and James Lindsay will let it go into his stick and bring it back up. 8:40 to go in the third. 9-4 lead for the Storm. Lindsay facilitating the offense on the recent possession. He goes to Nolan Fox. Back across to Rusnak. Rusnak above the circle. Rusnak, a one-timer deflected wide. It may have caught a piece of Rafferty before it got to the net. Rafferty sends Lindsay into the corner. Rusnak, a one-down, circles off the helmet of Fedor, and a good save there by the Beerwolf goalie. Able to keep himself in it. Rusnak tries it again, turned away by Fedor. Rebound brought in momentarily by Rafferty and kept in. And a great stick maneuver there by the Beerwolf defenseman. Rafferty into Ensley. Behind the back goes Little High of Winters, which corralled back in. Nate Winters along the nearest circle. The Beerwolves running out of time for a comeback. Down by 5, 7:45 to go. And behind the back look again turned away by Kelly, who has been a brick wall after allowing 3 in the first period, just 1 in the about 22.5 minutes since then. Nolan Fox goes to Lindsay, a minute left on the 4-on-4. Lindsay by the mark, squirrel assign. Up to Matthew Reuter around the blue line. Reuter to Rusnak. Rusnak into Phil Reuter. Back to Rusnak. To Lindsay through the legs. He almost scores, and it's saved by Fedor. The water bottle fell behind the net. And while the water bottle and the ball don't look anything alike, I thought they did for a moment. So it stays 9-4. No goal, and a timeout is called by the Beerwolves. It's their first of the game, their one and only of the period. 7 minutes even to go in the third. It's a 5-goal lead for the Storm as they have scored the last 4 in the game. Under 7 minutes to go in the third now as the Beerwolves look to revamp their offense, which has stalled out since the first period. And early in the second, as Steele back and forth, had that one go over and under his stick about 3 times around the blue line. Finally able to bring it in. Here's Steele, fires an off-speed shot high of Kelly, doesn't make a dodge at it. And Nolan Fox brings back up the other way. Dying second to the 4-on-4. The Storm will go on the man up for the next 60 seconds after it. Fox and Rusnak. Rusnak the beneficiary. Will change the look. Rusnak goes to Nick Fox, who's fresh on after the 4-minute penalty. Pass goes behind them. We force track it down now with shot clock down to 5. Here's James Lindsay around the blue line. Lindsay on, never mind, not on goal. It's wide. Second effort is on goal. The rebound trickles out to Anthony Stranix of the Beerwolves. who brought it in momentarily. A whistle sounds, though. It's a call against the Beer Wolves. And so the Black Storm take over, and it's Nick Fox for the 5th time. He has taken over himself, and he has scored half of the Black Storm goals on the night. It's a 10-4 lead for the Storm over the Beer Wolves. .5:25 to go in the third, a 10-4 lead. Ensley through the circles has that one deflected off the pad of Kelly. Sent down the other way by Reuter and Lindsay, trying to get around Jones. Jones did a good job on defense for the moment, and they forced the wayward pass. A great job by Jason Jones in a 3-on-1 disadvantage to prevent all shots on goal and not allow one to get past them. Here's James Lindsay behind the circle. Lindsay goes to Matthew Reuter. Reuter evades Jones momentarily. A piece of equipment is down on the floor. Lindsay takes a shot. What a hit by Jones. And Jason Jones leaned into it in front of the crease, and a great shift for him on defense. Might result in a penalty, though. That'd probably be reasonable considering the hit that just got laid down. And it will end in the penalty, but not against the Beer Wolves. 2 minutes against Matthew Reuter of the Storm. Under 4.5 to go in the third. It's a 10-4 lead for the Beer Wolves, who will need a miracle run here late if they are to force overtime or potentially take a regulation win against the Storm. For the moment, the Black Storm is playing some conservative defense. Here's Winters to Steele into the corner around the shot clock. Steele trying to force man to the corner, takes a stick check up high. Steele's helmet was knocked loose momentarily.